paths lay before me. One path was well-trodden. The other path was much less well-trodden. I took the path that was much less well-trodden, and that has made all the difference. The second lesson I want to put before you is the need for business school students and graduates to have courage, to be bold, to be daring, and to take great risks. If you are honest with yourselves, you must admit that as business school students, you all have a secret dream. And the dream goes a little bit like this. You're looking for that permanent job which will pay the salary of McKinsey, give bonuses like Goldman Sachs, give share options like Google, have the lifetime employment practices of Mitsubishi, in a country that has the political stability of Switzerland, the economic growth rate of China, the beaches of Brazil, and as many domestic servants as are obtainable in Ghana or Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please get real. These jobs do not exist. And I urge you to give up the lifetime of ease and caution and dare to be bold and dare to be great. In today's world, paradoxically, it is the boldest action that is often the safest. Remaining where you are in a world that is changing so rapidly is, in fact, the most dangerous of all places to be in. At those moments when it is time for you to take firm and decisive action, your minds will manufacture 1,000 reasons why you should hesitate. Do not hesitate. Go forward without hesitations and with resolution. Be bold. My third lesson, which I want to present to you, is about the importance of teamwork. I would like to tell a story. It's one of those stories that's not true, but it's still a half-decent story. I'd invited some friends of mine to go and watch a sports meeting, an athletics meeting in Lagos. There were 2 athletics meetings, and I went to the one that was closer. And there was a relay race, so 4 by 100 meters relay race, and the race started. And the guy who was running the first leg of the race ran a great race. The only thing was that when it came to hand the baton over to the second guy, he kept on running with the baton. It came to time to hand over to the third guy, he kept on running. Came to handle to the fourth guy, he kept on running, and at the end of that race, he held the baton on, ran straight out of the stadium, and was still running when he was stopped by the police at the next checkpoint. I, at that time, realized there was something wrong, so I looked at my program, and I realized I had gone to the wrong athletics race. This race was the athletics race for the Lagos Psychiatric Clinic. Now, I say this as a serious point. We often don't realize that we're mad. But the essence of business and the essence of life is teamwork. It is the essence. And it is the baton change, it's the cooperation between divisions. It is the ability to construct a group, a team of people that makes success in life. The greatest successes are relay races. It's not a 100-meter sprint, it's not a marathon, it is a relay race, depending on teamwork. I urge all of you to focus in your lives at building great teams, acknowledging the contributions of others, and welding and melding those teams into a successful story. My fourth point and message I want to leave with you is about failure. You've probably never failed in your lives before. Life has been one great succession of success after success. I want to say the very opposite to you, which is to say, I want you to embrace failure. And I want to say to you, paradoxically, that failure is a very good thing. Now, I say this because it is in failure that you gain strength, that you learn your lessons, that you get the determination to press ahead. And it's often in failure that you see opportunities that you never ever saw before. So as you leave the business school, you will come across situations in which things go terribly wrong with you. Your attitude to all these situations must be, this is an opportunity, things will look better for me, and this failure is something that I must embrace, and it is something that I must get out of, and I'll look back in years to come that was the time when I started rebuilding anew. Finally, I want to speak in particular to the Harvard Business School students, but I guess that what I say now probably still applies to Wharton, Chicago, and all those other places. And that is that never ever forget, as Harvard Business School students, who you are. Never, always retain what I would call the tranquil consciousness of your abilities and of your very special education. By that I mean that you must always remember that there are certain standards that you must always live up to. You must give everything of yourself in the pursuit of something that is larger than yourself. And in losing yourself for something greater, you will find yourself again. It is your destiny. It is your destiny to create the great African business enterprises of the next 25 years. Those of us who came before you have made our own achievements, but your achievements will be greater than our achievements. Our generation and the generations that were there before you will never forgive you if, in realizing your destiny, you fall short. We expect of you nothing less than that you attempt the impossible in trying to reach the very limits of the impossible. For a minute, I want you to put aside the accounting that you have learned, put aside the marketing you have learned, and instead remember the great English poet Wordsworth, who said, "Seize the times, make your life extraordinary." Harvard MBAs, you cannot be ordinary. For me, I turned 57 2 days ago. I woke up this morning and received about 100 phone calls. Someone had written a news story in the internet which read that I had died this morning in a hotel room in London. I am therefore particularly happy to be with you tonight. Clearly, as Churchill once said, while I am always ready to meet my maker, my Maker has decided that it is not time for him to meet me. In the day, I think I can therefore say with some confidence that I am now probably in the early evening of my life. In the day that my life has been, there has been much thunder and much lightning. It has been the thunder and the sound of enthusiasms and battles, not the sound of cataclysms or fear. Luckily for me, the sun has shone on me more than the rain has beat my face. I am very thankful to my parents who made me a very huge breakfast at the beginning of the day of my life. I am very proud to say to you, and I say this with all modesty, that lunch I prepared myself. It is the duty of my children to prepare my dinner. That is the African way, and it is the prayer that I have for all of you. What next in my life? I have one ambition left, which I have not shared with anybody. But this is a very special day, and you are very special people, and I want to share it with you. And it will go by my last story for this evening. Before I start the story, I want you to know that all of you who sit over there today, I know that the time will come when you will all stand on this stage, that you will do far bigger deals than I've ever done in my life, that you will make my achievements look very commonplace, you will excel far beyond anything that I have excelled, and I want you to know that when you do that, I will be enormously proud of you, because in my view, the younger generation doing better than the older generation is the very definition of civilization and progress. There's no other way. So I want you to imagine yourselves in 20 or 30 years' time. Just dream a bit. There you will be in some room 4 to 5 times the size of this room. The introduction of you will be 4 to 5 times lengthier than the introduction you heard. And they'll be praising you. And then you will leave this room in your splendid Mercedes-Benz limousine. I guess it won't be this S600 then. It'll probably be the S1000. You'll sweep into your room, to your house. The distance from the gatehouse to the door will be very long. And you will finally sit down. Your head by this time will be of cosmic proportions. And your spouse will inform you that the presidents of 2 countries have been trying to contact you for you to give them advice on energy policy and industrial policy. You will be trying to juggle the various honorary degrees that they're trying to give you. And your spouse, in that tone of undeceived respect, which is a peculiar attribute of the African spouse, she may say to you, "Darling, you deserve all of this. You know you work so hard. I hope you've completed arrangements for my holiday." But as your head cools down, faces will begin to emerge in your mind. You will begin, the first faces that will come to you will probably be your parents. And you'll begin to think of the contributions that you have made to them. And then in your mind will come some faces of teachers who imparted wisdom to you, oftentimes against your own will. And then may come the faces of some older people. Individuals who may have mentored you, people who may have worked with you. It may be some people that you have just read about. It may indeed be people that you heard speak when you were younger, but who made you feel that you could do better than you thought you could do, who made you feel that the ceiling that you thought was there for your ambition should not be there. If in 20 or 30 years' time, when just 3 or 4 people in this room achieve great things, and in their sitting rooms, in the evening afterwards, feel that there's something that I have said or done with my life that has made them feel that they can achieve better, that they can do great things, then I would have achieved my life's final ambition, which would be to inspire the next generation. Thank you.